Dimitri Bivol suffered his first loss last weekend, further proving that the Matchroom curse is a real thing. But before we get into the enormous L, let's check out what Eddie Hearn had to say about Clapback Thursdays.
I liked his one last night. I mean, probably that video took the entire day. And the editing was really good. I mean, it did make me quite horny.
You're horny? Losing makes you horny?
Disgusting.
14 main event fighters of yours lost this year.
Bruh.
That has to be some kind of record.
No.
Look, despite the horrible things people say about you, I don't dislike you. I'm just pointing out the facts that you're unable to do your job. I don't care if people say you're a giant douche and silver spoon-fed trust fund loser. I just think you're a horrible promoter.
And there is Oscar Delahoya as he claps back on Thursday with another Eddie Hearn diss. And of course, you know he was talking about the recent loss of Dimitri Bivol, which is promoted by Eddie Hearn. And he says and claims that the Matchroom curse is real. You know, I'll say this. Competition is a mother sucker. That's what I will say. It is very entertaining, but it also brings out bitterness. Competition, you know, is not about happiness. It's about keeping up with the other. It's about being consistent with status that doesn't necessarily make you happy. It just keeps you going in really a negative way. You know, sometimes competition can bring out the worst in people. And I think that's happening with Oscar Delahoya, honestly. I think that's happening with Oscar. I think Oscar is in competition with Eddie, and I think he's always seen that. You know, like if I was in competition with other YouTube channels, I would always be miserable. You know what I mean? Because YouTube channels go up and down. They don't stay the same. You know what I mean? None of them just keep flourishing and soaring a lot of times, right? Normally. You know, so you have that. But another channel or another person worried about someone else, I think it's quite sad. Okay? Because competition, as they say, is a... Hold on a second. There it is. Competition is opposite of happiness, okay? Because you'll never be happy being competitive or worried about someone else. And Oscar obviously is worried about him, and I mean, he's the first one to worry about the loss of anybody, you know? And I'll say this, though. Oscar is reminding me of Dimitri Bivol'S ex. I mean, honestly, that's who he's reminding me of. He's reminding me of, like, how someone is so happy to see the downfall or the negative side of other people. You know, to see someone lose or see some unfortunate thing happen, you know. And it's not an unfortunate thing, because Dimitri Bivol losing to Artur Beterbiev wasn't a bad thing. It just wasn't the best thing, because a lot of people think that he won. But to blame it on Eddie Hearn, and again, to cite the obvious about overall competition or promotion, like he can't promote, that just shows you that you've been picking your fighters to fight certain fighters for years. And you're just showing that's how you measure being a good promoter, and it's not. Being a good promoter is being able to take risk for the sake of the fans' entertainment, okay? For the fans' benefit. That's what being a good promoter is. It's not all about holding your fighter back and giving them hard fights and aging out fighters that probably could have beat your fighters, like Canelo and Triple G, right? Because, I mean, that's what it came down to. And by the time he could beat Triple G, he wasn't with Oscar anymore anyway. But that's exactly what Oscar thinks is being a good promoter, and he's sadly mistaken. That's why most of his fighters left his ass. Facts. See, you got Oscar over there happy because Bivol lost because Bivol'S promoted with Eddie Hearn, and he doesn't like Eddie Hearn because Eddie Hearn has either taken his fighters or done more in the States as he, and that's why he doesn't like Eddie Hearn over here. Now he doesn't like Eddie Hearn at all because he's trumped him over in the States. So to see him do that is just absolutely pitiful. And if Eddie didn't do what I said he did, he wouldn't be worried about Eddie at all. See, no one's worried about anyone that's doing less than them. Facts. Okay. But what Eddie said about him saying it, the video made him horny, yeah, that is on some weird stuff, Eddie. He shouldn't have used that. However, Oscar Delahoya, you are the last person. I mean, the absolute last person to talk about somebody's private affairs. You know, I think he should have just left that where it was. You know what I mean? But it was funny. Losing makes you horny? That was a good one though for Oscar. But again, you know, it's Oscar though, so I don't think Oscar has any room to talk about anyone. But you guys tell me what you think of Oscar De La Hoya blasting Eddie Hearn. Thankful, glad that his fighter lost to Artur Beterbiev. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!